Oasis, Stand By Me. Who are the couple? I'm Brian Cannon, this is Microdot. Welcome back to another episode. Today we'll be talking about the artwork for the Oasis single, Stand By Me. And in particular, who are the couple? Not only that, what's going on with all these crazy mass wedding shots on the back and in the interior? If you're not familiar with the work of Microdot, we created all the record sleeve artwork for Oasis and tons of other bands in the 90s, a lot of which you can see behind me here. And I am currently sat in the Microdot Boutique, which is our physical shop up in Kendal near the Lake District, so come along and see us as well, please. I'll drop in details in the description below of all our socials, website, all the rest of it, and even the sat-nav destination, which I'll pop up here now. Contrary to popular belief, the couple on the front are not my parents. I see that all the time in online polls and what have you. Who are the Brian Cannon's mum and dad? No, they're not. My mum and dad are on, do you know what I mean? Some might say, and the master plan. On the table in front of me today, I have got reference material to talk us through what this is all about. We've got the teaser poster, we've got the actual fly poster itself, the back sleeve with the mass wedding, we've got the interior sleeve with more mass weddings, Be Here Now, I'll show you the relation for that in a minute, and the front cover itself, obviously. So the sleeve features a couple, and I often get asked, what does this mean? Well, I would have thought it was blatantly obvious. The single is called Stand By Me, and the inference is this couple who are obviously in love by the way they're looking at each other, you know, they stand by each other. That is also the reference, that's the inference of the wedding shots on the back and the inside. You know, it's all about a couple being in love. I'll get to the wedding shots later because that really is a different thing entirely. Although it's the same inference, you know, being in love, the sanctuary of marriage, all the rest of it, Stand By Me. But back to the couple, as I said earlier, it isn't my parents, it is my ex-girlfriend's grandparents. So that's obviously self-explanatory. They had a picture knocking about the house that I thought was amazing that fitted this sleeve, and that's why I chose it. But interestingly enough, and a lot of people won't realise this, Barry Johnson, my ex's father, who took that photograph, is actually, or was actually, a professional photographer. And he also took the photographs that went on all the, you know, the summer brochures of 1996, the Loch Lomond, Canadian, Swedish, Park of Champions in Cork, the Nebworth and the USA brochures. He actually photographed all those flags for the front covers of those. And even more incredible, I think, if you look at Be Here Now, the vinyl version, in the middle there is the collage. Now I made this collage from photographs taken by Jill Furmanovsky. They're all Jill Furmanovsky shots, but obviously the collage itself has to be photographed. And that was shot by Barry as well, who did that, who took the picture of his grandparents. Now for some people, I looked at this morning, Barry doesn't get a credit on the Be Here Now sleeve, it just says collage photography by Jill Furmanovsky. What that means is the pictures in the collage were taken by Jill, but that was actually photographed by Barry. So that's that. The couple are my ex-girlfriend's grandparents from East London. That picture was taken in the 1970s, as I think the fashion gives away. But yeah, probably taken in Hackney or Bethnal Green, I think that was, in the 1970s. But to the back, you will see this mass wedding shot. So what's all that about? Again, on the same theme, Stand By Me, being in love. I just thought, you know, it's a bit of a quirky one, though, rather than a standard wedding shot. I got all these images. So there's that one, and the inner sleeve for the 12-inch, which shows another mass wedding and people queuing up to get married. Now these images I actually got from a photo library, which is something I very, very, very rarely did back in the day. I would always commission and brief the photographers myself, but they were taken from a photo library. And interestingly enough, I think there's nobody credited on the sleeve for taking those shots. Mustn't have known, they must have been just uncredited shots that I got from an agency. But the ceremonies themselves, I don't know if you've ever, perhaps the older members of the audience watching will recognise this name, but there were members of what was classified a religious cult, I suppose, known as the Moonies, which was officially called the Unification Church, which was founded by Reverend Dr. Sun Myung Moon in Seoul, South Korea in 1954. And this shot here is in a stadium in Seoul, in Korea. The others, These, I believe, are in New York City. It's the same bunch of people, the same Unification Church, i.e. the Moonies, religious ceremonies. And as far as I'm aware, I think I'm right in saying this, all those people getting married in that shot only met each other that morning. So it'd be interesting to find out how many of them are still married, actually, wouldn't it? As always, we also did the fly posters. There's 2 for this release. As Oasis went on in the career, you'll find that happened more and more. I mean, Supersonic didn't have its own dedicated poster at all. It shared a poster with tour dates, which is a very rare poster. I've only ever seen a couple of those. And then there's Shaker Makers up behind me. That's dead rare as well. But there's just 1 poster for the release, because they were quite small then. By the time you get to this stage, you've got 2 posters. I'll just grab one off the wall here. Here's an original Creation Records street fly poster featuring the wedding shot, obviously. You can always tell they're originals because there's no web address in the corner or a merchandise company. But I have seen some recently that had a white border on. Creation Records fly posters never had a white border. I'm actually going to do a video next week telling you how to spot an original from reprint, whatever you want to call it, you know, mass-produced merchandise stuff as well. So that's the next video coming up. So as well as that poster, there was one that featured the front sleeve. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Both of these will be on the website when this video goes live. Again, they're both 90s originals, in mint condition, it should be said. You do find them now and again, but these are absolutely mint condition, without any rips or creases or tears in them whatsoever. If you'd like to help us out, just in a little way, just please like the video, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends. It all really does help us spread the word, because we're trying to build a community here of like-minded people who are into this kind of thing. Check out our other videos. I've recently done one on it. We did the artwork for Do You Know What I Mean? That's not been long out. And one for Some Might Say. And one for how I came up with the Oasis logo itself. So that's it. Short one today. The couple from Stand By Me are my ex-girlfriend's grandparents, not my mum and dad. As always, thanks for watching. It means the absolute world to us. Cheerio.